Hi everybody, this is Dan Rutten with WISE. I'm here today with Chuck Goodwin, who's here to talk a little bit about his upcoming webinar with us on November 9th, which is called The Underlying Message, Finding Success Through Understanding Positive Behavior Supports. Welcome, Mr. Goodwin.
Thanks, Dan.
How you doing?
You really want to know?
I do want to know.
I'm great. Thanks for asking.
Good. We're glad to have you here. Well, if you could, for our audience, could you give them a little bit of background on yourself, and then a little bit about the session as well?
Perfect. All right. So I'm Chuck Goodwin. I was born in a house my father built. No, that's not it. I've actually worked in the field, believe it or not, for 37 years. I started when I was 2. Okay, that's a lie. But I've actually worked in the field from the days of behavior management when I really believe that for the first 15, 20 years I was in this field, we were taught the wrong way of doing things. Mm-hmm. And we were taught really to regard people with disabilities as people who really couldn't do anything, that they didn't have a voice, so we were taught to do everything for them, and we were specifically taught to control their behavior, and we were given all these wonderful tools for doing it. And really, I think from that, over years of decommissioning, I've kind of come to a whole different approach, and really have kind of taken up the whole idea of positive behavior support, and I've done a lot of work with that in all sorts of arenas. One of the things I've done my whole career is that I continue to work with people. That's the part of the job I like the most, and that's really the teachers that I've had are the people who are, who I've worked with. And the reason I kind of came up with this idea, and I talked with my friend Sean Wood, who works at your wonderful agency, I think.
Sure does.
Where is Sean, by the way? Is he around?
He's not around right now. No, he's not behind the banner.
I'll talk a little bit about. One of my concerns has been in the last few years that when we talk about positive behavior supports, it's starting to get back to kind of this clinical thing, where we think of it as something. It's a plan we write when people are having difficulties either at home or at work, and it's a plan we implement. Well, positive behavior support is much more than that. It's an ongoing philosophy. It really is a method for supporting people on a day-to-day basis that's based on the person's individuality and a lot of other stuff. That being said, I think there's a lot of clinical stuff that can come into play and can be very beneficial. Mm-hmm. So that's where Sean is going to come in. So my background is really 37 years of experience. I have no clinical background. I've been through 1 billion courses. I've actually watched David Petoniak, which is just mind-blowing for me. It's a thing. So I've done a lot of training, but no clinical background. Sean Wood is somebody who I worked with early on at Trillium Employment Services, and who just is he's one of those people that gets it. He's really, I took to him. I worked with some of the individuals he was supporting, and he just really got it. He's worked with you guys, and he went through applied behavioral analysis, and I think he's got a master's, for God's sake. So he's very clinical, but he's somebody who I really think gets the whole clinical side of things, and also kind of integrates that into the ongoing approach too. So we're going to try to meld the day-to-day supports around positive behavior supports, the theoretical, and then bring in some of the clinical also.
Awesome. And who would you say that this session is good for? Who's it aimed towards?
Well, here's what I think. I think it works for everybody. I think positive behavior support is, we used to talk about an approach that was specifically for people with disabilities. Like, it only works for people with developmental disabilities, and you have all these set ways of doing things. It's really something that works for everybody, and the more I talk about it, the more I start to understand it. The more I understand how hard it is. It sounds so easy to do. You just treat people the right way. You look at what they can do. You build on their personality and what they like and what they want. You take a step back when there's issues and look at the whole situation. But it's really it's difficult.
Great.
Especially for somebody like me, I tend to be reactive with a lot of situations. So I think it applies to everybody.
Excellent.
I don't think you can hear it enough.
That's great. Well, we're really excited to have you there. Again, November 9th, it will be on our web-based
platform.
platform.
One day before my birthday.
So everybody be wishing Chuck a very happy birthday as he gets much, much older. November 9th, registration, you can find out information on our Facebook page at facebook.gowise, or on our website at www.gowise.com. getwise.org under the events tab. So hope you'll be able to attend. Registration is up until November 8th, but the session is filling up, so be sure to register soon. Thanks so much. Thanks, Chuck, for being here.
Thank you. And Sean will be, well, he's still not here, but he will be there for the session.
Great. Thanks a lot.